Hello, good morning. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday, October 1st, the final quarter of 2025. We're in the home stretch, Ted. I am Manila Chan. That over there is Ted Rawl. Welcome to all the deprogram folks that have carried over. Hello, everybody. This is a new kind of mid-morning show. It's not super serious, but we will tell you the news and show you a lot of cats, like Clovis back there doing his morning stretch. Just you're tuned into the. Go ahead, Ted.
Hello, Clovis. Come here, Yowie.
Everybody's here to see Clovis. I mean, let's be honest.
Yes.
But still, this is the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI Show for short, because we bring you way too much information. We're live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So please be sure to hit the like and the follow button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Sharing the show will go a very long way in helping us continue to grow. So on today's show, we're going to talk about a couple of obviously very important news, like the government officially shutting down after midnight, after 12:01 this morning. Some news of based on, I don't know, Ted, like human rights speech that a federal judge ruled against Marco Rubio and Kristi Noem about, I would call it conspiracy, Ted. The judge didn't go that far, but I'll go that far. Conspiracy to chill speech regarding Gaza.
Yeah.
I mean, the judge didn't say that, but Manila's going ahead and saying that. Then, of course, our main topic, the most amazing lawsuit has been filed for $40 trillion. Trillion. Ted, I'm not even sure what the U.S. GDP is, but I feel like it's around there.
A lot.
I'm not even sure. You got to look that up. I feel like
28. It's 29 trillion.
So this lawsuit is greater than the U.S. GDP.
It's about equivalent to the U.S. plus China together. China's 18. Yeah.
Wow. $40 trillion lawsuit filed by the QAnon Shaman, who is apparently our true commander-in-chief. And we'll get you all the details. Mm-hmm. We'll get you the details.
And a cinematic auteur.
Yeah, Ted, I never knew. I got to say, Ted, I can kind of get behind the new POTUS.
I, for one, welcome our new horny overlord.
I am kind of...
Or I should just say behorned.
The behorned new POTUS. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of behind this whole QAnon Shaman as POTUS. I gotta say, it can't be any worse. Can't be worse than the last one, and it can't be worse than the current one. So, I mean, why not? Why not? Then we'll touch on something that you brought up over on Deprogram with John just a little while ago about the Taliban shutting down the internet. So you can probably expand on that a little more because I missed that story. So with that,
it's an interesting story.
You got to tell us about it. With that, we got to hit our first advertiser.
Yeah, Robbie, go ahead and put that up and
right off the top.
And I will take care of that.
Yeah, we're trying. So you're doing the new thing with Deprogram. You guys are going live now at 9 a.m.
Yeah, it's only for 3 weeks while John is out filming his new Hollywood career. But then we'll be back to 5 o'clock Eastern. But we're 9 a.m. Eastern, so then it's 9 a.m. Eastern with John and 10 a.m. with you. Here we go. Okay. Hey, football fanatics, are you ready for some primetime NFL action? Tune into Westwood One for all the gridiron glory you crave, from jaw-dropping touchdowns to game-changing plays. Don't miss a moment of the excitement. Catch every snap, every tackle, and every victory on Westwood One. You can listen to the NFL on the NFL app, on the Westwood One Sports app, on WestwoodOneSports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
All right, excellent. Let's head over to all the stories, Ted. All right, first things first. So after midnight, as you guys have probably all already heard, the U.S. government has officially shut down tonight at 12:01 after Congress and the White House failed to reach an agreement on how to extend federal funding. President Trump's the so-called president, Ted, just going to caveat that.
Our former president.
This so-called the man
Fake
that identifies
president.
as the president. Yeah, the guy that identifies as the president, Donald Trump. His Republican Party controls both chambers of Congress, but it needs Democratic support to pass a bill over at the Senate where 60 votes are required. And the two parties failed to craft a bipartisan bill, with the Senate rejecting both GOP proposal and a Democratic proposal just hours before the shutdown deadline. So again, we talked about this yesterday. Total stalemate. Nobody's budging on either side. It's the first government shutdown since 2018 during Trump's first term, which was the longest ever at 34 days, lasting early into 2019. There's no clear path to a resolution right now, with the two sides fundamentally at odds over how to resolve this impasse. Federal employees will have to go without pay for the duration of that shutdown. Some of them, essential workers, have to go in taking IOUs. Meanwhile, members of Congress and the president himself will still receive their salaries as usual. About 750,000 employees will be furloughed each day. The Congressional Budget Office says that's their number anyway. And I'm hearing that there are going to be some people that are going to be totally riffed, that Trump is looking for, not Doge itself, Ted, but somewhere within the administration, they're looking for federal workers whose agencies are not funded with, what do they call it? Appropriations that aren't federally mandated. They're looking to, if they can cut those people while this, kick them while they're down. Why not?
That's the best time.
Obviously, while the other essential workers continue to do stuff like TSA. We need the TSA, Ted. Shoe bombers. All the shoe bombers, underwear bombers, people, people wearing Depends that shouldn't be wearing Depends. Like if you see a 32-year-old guy, kind of scruffy with a beard, and he's wearing Depends, you're like, do you really need those Depends? That might be a grown-up Pampers bomb.
True, poo bomb.
Could be a huge poo bomb.
Every parent knows how deadly those can be.
Look, it wasn't that long ago for me. I know about those diaper bombs and how they can get everywhere, blown up out the back.
Right, yeah, right up the back. It's kind of an amazing sight to behold.
Just straight up the back.
We talked a little bit about Karen Silkwood in the last show. It's a little bit like that.
We got air traffic controllers. I will say those are probably needed.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think those people should definitely continue to work. Not on IOU. I don't think that's cool.
No, it's not cool.
Federal law enforcement officers. I guess, Ted, that includes like Capitol Hill Police or something. Or
FBI?
ATF? FBI?
ICE. Oh, the poor ICE goons aren't going to be paid. But brutalization of women and children is its own reward, Manila.
That's right, Ted. It's very heartwarming. So we have those law enforcement folks, members of the military. Those people continue to work without pay. They'll work on IOU.
It's not. Look, if you have any savings, it's not the end of the world. If you let's say you live in Washington, you've been through this before. Everybody's familiar. You can ask your friend, "Hey, can I borrow a little cash?" Because that they're getting paid eventually.
Yeah, but the vast majority of Americans, especially these so-called essential workers, right? The cops, the armed forces, whatever they are, right? If you're somebody with a badge and a gun, you're not very likely to be a well-to-do person. You're more than likely to be among the 65% of Americans who are working and living paycheck to paycheck. Bottom line, blue-collar workers tend to be the people most vulnerable and at risk, one paycheck away from disaster.
Yeah.
Right? Like financial disaster. These are the folks that are while they're driving into work, their car hits one of these gazillions of potholes on the GW Parkway, and boom, you blow out your tire, you bust a rim, mess up an axle, like you're done. And now you're on an IOU, getting paid on IOU. You're done. Like that suddenly can just, it could be the difference between getting to work to get paid on IOU or paying your rent.
Right. No, I get it. So listen, we should talk about the politics about this, Manila. So I think what's often lost here is the point of it. This is about the Democrats. Democrats are of course out of power, and what the Republicans are asking the Democrats to do is give them 7 of their votes in the Senate. The Republicans only have 53 votes in the Senate. 60 are needed to pass a continuing resolution that would fund the government at present levels for another 6 weeks. The Democrats are saying we will not go along with that unless you restore 2 medical-related cuts. One to Medicaid, which is for poor and working-class people, and the other one to the regular Affordable Care Act subsidies writ large. So if you make, like, say, $40,000 a year, which is not enough to be declared poor, but still not very much money, right, you can qualify for what they call an Affordable Care Act subsidy from the federal government. And so those funds were brutally slashed in the big, beautiful bill that Trump signed earlier this year. So the Democrats want that money back. The Republicans are saying, why do you want to talk about this now? We could talk about this at the end of the year after the continuing resolution and do this and come up with a solution for the whole next year. But that's sophistry, because what the Democrats are saying is, look, if we do it that way, if you're on the Affordable Care Act right now, you're facing a deadline in 14 days, October 15th. You have to choose your health care for next year. If they kick the can down to November, obviously that means tens of millions of people will no longer be in part of either Medicaid or the Affordable Care Act and will lose their health care coverage. What Republicans are hoping is that becomes sort of in the same way that the West Bank settlers become create new facts on the ground that have to be dealt with later when there's a peace agreement. It creates new facts on the ground in the healthcare landscape. And so by next year, many Americans, Republicans hope, will be used to no longer having publicly assisted healthcare and will be in the private market, and the ACA will start to fall apart completely. So this is literally about nothing less than the entire future of Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act. Democrats cannot cave. The Affordable Care Act is the only important thing legislatively that Democrats have accomplished in 30 years. So they have to, they can't let that go. Oh, totally. Not to mention they'll look like giant pussies, which, the base of the party is really sick of at this point and is insisting that they fight. So they can't let that go. The Republicans can let it go. They could compromise, but there's a sort of a practical problem. If the Republicans compromise on this, then they're kind of admitting that the big, beautiful bill stuff can all be rolled back later. That's part of it, which would not be a good position for the Republicans to be in. And it's also it would basically be sort of validating that the Affordable Care Act is still popular in this country, which it is. And so it's kind of like an impossible showdown. I don't see this being resolved anytime soon. I think we're looking at weeks on end here, maybe months.
Yeah. I don't see how this comes to a neat and tidy close. The last time that this happened under Trump's watch, it was 34 days, but there were things on the table for either side that they could punt back and forth. In this instance, this is the crux of the problem. But to producer Robbie's point, he says, why not build something better? Well, that's exactly right. The Republicans haven't presented anything.
No. Remember, he ran on repeal and replace in 2016.
Right. So you're trying on the repeal.
Yeah, you're just trying to do the repeal. Look, you and I both know, Manila, Republicans have absolutely no interest whatsoever in replacing Obamacare. They don't think there should be any public role whatsoever for the federal government in healthcare. Look, part of me kind of thinks what I would really love, I mean, obviously I want socialized medicine. I want Medicare for all, like Bernie wants. But if we can't have that, if we can have a truly free market system, you abolish all of the big HMOs, you get rid of all the all the insurance companies that are just that are adding massive
state barriers.
Get rid of get rid of the county barriers and the state barriers.
Is it even county?
Yeah, it's by county. And allow us to import buy drugs from Mexico and Canada, like just
straight
open
from
it up
India, Ted.
Total free market. Total free market. Now, it would be still rough to get medical care in like rural Montana, but it would be easy. You'd have a lot of competition. Doctors would probably not be able to charge as much in where there's a lot of competition. You know, I think you'd probably go to the doctor and everything would be like $50 or $75 or whatever.
I remember in the 80s, before all of this insurance bullshit became what it is now. In the 80s, when I was a kid,
monster.
I remember in the 80s being able to go to a doctor, pay cash $50.
Sure.
My parents would pay cash.
You still can.
$50. Like,
look, I do it all the time. The irony is that many people who have insurance, like you and I, end up paying cash anyway because the doctor we want to see isn't in network. So here's the thing.
co-pays
anybody who disagrees with us about the like companies like United Healthcare and stuff like that. Here, let me be really clear. This is like the gambling analogy. So my in-laws, they were Chinese, and of course Chinese people love to gamble. And I remember one time, like my ex-wife was arguing with her parents as we approached Vegas, and my ex-wife said, "Mom, Dad, look at that skyline. Does that skyline look like it's a place where people come to win money, or is it a skyline that people come to have money extracted from them? That's billions of dollars of wealth that was extracted from gamblers that is there and waiting to do it more." Similarly, if you look at the big healthcare companies, they make billions of dollars a year in profits. By definition, those profits are all coming out of the pockets of healthcare consumers. By definition, if that money could all be poured back into the system, our costs would be lower. It's just a question of how to do it.
Yeah.
These people are leeches. They're just taking advantage of us. They don't contribute anything. There's no value added to a company like United Healthcare.
Well, it's a giant.
We would all be better off without
scam.
it. Yeah, it's a scam.
It's an Amway scam. All right, let's do the next one. Let's get to the next story.
A federal judge yesterday fumed over Trump's efforts to deport academics, which is a fancy word for students and professors, who have expressed support for the Palestinian cause. The Trump administration has attempted to curb what it calls antisemitism on college campuses, although they can't seem to be able to actually point to any specific examples. But theoretically, there's this vaporous anti-Semitism floating around on college campuses. In response to the pro-Palestinian,
Ted, actually, I'll interrupt you there.
Yeah.
There was a very recent, I don't remember which university, but I read that and this is a real story, that some frat boys threw bacon into the courtyard of a Jewish frat house.
This particular act of hatred is making me hungry. I love bacon.
What a waste of great bacon.
No, that sounds true. Anyway, that could have been an anti-Muslim act too, you know. Anyway. So the effort has earned criticism from the left and the right over in potential encroachments on free speech. Among the most high-profile incidents, I don't know many people on the right who were against this, unfortunately, but I'm going to just take this story at its face value, was the administration's move to deport Mahmoud Khalil. He was a Columbia University graduate and non-citizen, but he was a green card holder, who's married to an American and has a kid with an American, who helped to organize pro-Palestinian activities, which, by the way, were all peaceful. The case in question saw a bunch of groups sue Marco Rubio and Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem had to take time out from killing dogs in their official capacities, alleging coordination to curb certain speech in violation of the First Amendment. The Judge William Young wrote, "This case, perhaps the most important ever to fall within the jurisdiction of this district court, squarely presents the issue whether non-citizens lawfully present here in the United States actually have the same free speech rights as the rest of us. The court answers this constitutional question unequivocally, yes, they do. No law means no law. The First Amendment does not draw Trump's invidious distinction, and it is not to be found in our history or jurisprudence. Young also found that Department of Homeland Security Secretary and Chief Dog Killer Kristi Noem and little Marco Rubio deliberately and with purposeful afterthought did so concert their actions and those of their two departments intentionally to chill the rights to freedom of speech and peacefully to assemble of the non-citizen plaintiff members of the plaintiff associations. I love this judge, but I wish he wrote better.
I know. Not much prose.
No, it's pretty clunky, very legalistic. But he's a Reagan appointee. He's really pissed. Elsewhere in his 161-page opinion, the judge suggested, the judge insisted that the court that the American people might rise up violently to overthrow the administration, or maybe that they should.
Well, I mean, I back his opinion. I don't know about 161 pages of that clunky writing.
Oh God, that's so true.
Oh my God. Like, I mean, I think that's longer than Mein Kampf.
No, it's not. There are certain there are certain briefs.
Oh, the Communist Manifesto.
Probably. That's definitely true.
It's definitely longer than the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah, it is. It's look, he's right to be pissed off. The Bill of Rights applies to every human being on American soil, regardless of their citizenship status. So even like illegal undocumented workers, illegal aliens, everyone has these rights, right? So to try to say like, oh, you don't have the right, like in the case of one of the people that they tried to deport, she wrote a letter to the editor of the Tufts student newspaper. And they treated her like she was a criminal, and they jumped out of a car and snatched her off the street in a suburb of Boston. I mean, give me a break. I mean, they're crazy, and this should be stopped.
Yeah, and obviously, I hope somewhere in those 161 pages from Judge Young that he mentions something about Kristi Noem, in cosplay, running around in like Prada heels and full hair and makeup, doing this, these busts on free speech and illegal, like, oh, you're a brown person, you can't say those things on American soil, arrest that man, and she's like running around. So there's a whole South Park. I've been watching South Park lately. So the latest season, they have a South Park episode of exactly this. And with Kristi Noem, they give her kind of this ambiguous male-ish, female-ish voice. Mm-hmm. And the cartoon, her every so often, the running joke is her face melts off. Mm. And then she has to have a whole team come on and like just like put her face back on, like with injections.
Well, she's heavily made up, like most MAGA ladies. Many MAGA ladies.
It is. There is a look. But the whole South Park episode is basically this. And of course, The Simpsons, South Park, I mean, they're all prophetic, I feel like, Ted. This is exactly right. That she's like trampling on not only arresting anyone that doesn't look American, whatever that means, but also in that you can't say anything, especially if you don't look American.
Right.
And it's so, like the cartoons, man, the cartoons have it. They nailed this one. So I advise everyone, go out there and look at the South Park episode with Kristi Noem. It's hilarious.
By the way, going back a little bit to our previous story, this is pretty funny. Tony J said, how would this not blow back on the Republicans? Talking about the government shutdown. Well, I mean, the Republicans will claim that the Democrats are shutting down the government for partisan reasons, and basically they're denying the services to which the American people are entitled, and that they could have talked about this later. Democrats aren't very good at messaging, so What Democrats need to say is Trump wants you to die of cancer and doesn't care if you get to see a doctor. They need to say that over and over, but they're not good at doing that. If they had tight, disciplined messaging across social media and all that, like when there's a Republican talking point. I don't know, Manila, did you ever get them? I used to get the talking points for both political parties in my email. It was a thing, and like they'd be okay. Here's the major stories of the day. Here's the three main things to say. Yeah, they stopped doing it. Yeah. I think it's secret now. I think they have a much smaller list, right? It used to be like every Tom, Dick, and Harry, like you and I could get them.
Yeah. Well, I think what they do now is they send out other types of newsletters, and you kind of have to infer. You have to kind of infer what the messaging is.
No, but I think if you look at like Laura Loomer and people like that, not her. Those people, they're all like, they're all marked on message.
I mean newsletters straight from like Congressman so-and-so's office.
Yeah.
So when you see 3 or more of them echoing the same
then
thing,
what they
are. That's basically what I have to do now.
I think the right-wingers are receiving them, I think is my point.
Oh, sure. Oh, that's for sure. All right. This our main topic, Ted. And I have to do this. I lived in Arizona.
And let me answer this question too from Waterways. The letter from New York about health insurance, does the deadline say December 15th? No, it says October 15th. You've got to choose by October 15th.
Medicare and Medicaid, it's a federal thing. So yeah, I've seen them. So for here in Virginia as well, they're October. It's coming up. Like you got to start doing it now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So over to Arizona,
yep.
Where I lived and anchored news briefly, mainstream news. Surprised I didn't run into this gentleman, Ted. Arizona resident Jacob Chansley, better known to America as the QAnon Shaman, who stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th in a striking horned warrior outfit, is suing a host of entities, including the federal government and President Trump for, get this, $40 trillion. Trillion with a T. In the process, the Phoenix resident is claiming that he is the rightful leader of the United States in a rambling 26-page complaint that consists of a single paragraph, and the whole thing reads like a manifesto. Chansley alleges that his First, Fourth, and Second Amendment rights have been violated by a host of parties that are loosely related at best. Named as defendants are President Trump, the Federal Reserve, the NSA, the IMF, the World Bank, the Bank of International Settlements, the State of Israel, Elon Musk's entire X Corp, T-Mobile, DARPA, Warner Brothers, as in, yes, the whole movie studio. Mr. Chansley says that the supposed cabal allegedly engaged in a conspiracy to systematically violate the American people's constitutional rights. Well, I kind of agree with him on that one, Ted. Chansley, who is representing himself, he is pro se, and as we know, that always works out well, Ted, filed the suit Monday in Maricopa County Superior Court. Given that it contains federal claims, albeit wildly specious ones, it likely belongs in a U.S. district court, but he went to the Maricopa local superior court. Chansley did not respond to inquiries from any news outlets, but in his court paperwork, the suit includes all of these. The central banking system and the Federal Reserve are unconstitutional, is what he states. Like, these are main statements. The U.S. government is guilty of treason for prioritizing the interest of foreign financiers at the expense of the American people.
Well, that's
true.
That's
not entirely wrong. The NSA surveilled Chansley daily using the Patriot Act as he was writing the second Declaration of Independence, Ted. Don't laugh, Ted.
I mean, what do we still have to get rid of the Brits?
He's writing the so the NSA was surveilling him, like he couldn't get his work done.
That would be very annoying.
Some of his other allegations, he says that all radio stations and most of the DJs are part of the intel community.
Not here.
I mean, Ted, we were radio hosts.
That's true.
I mean, I would tell
plainly,
Jacob right
everyone
now,
can tell that I'm unintelligent and not part of the intelligence community.
We are Ted and I are safely not.
We are non-intelligent.
We're in the non-intelligent community.
Yes, proudly so.
That's right. He says a scene in the 2008 Christopher Nolan directed Batman film, The Dark Knight, and many plot details in 2009's Avatar were cribbed from his writing. And are proof
if I were him,
that the NSA spied on him.
If I were him, I wouldn't be bragging about that. I would let someone else take credit for Avatar.
And Dark Knight also, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be like,
which one was that?
maybe that's like, that was a blessing in disguise that, your writing there got ripped off.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. He's alleging that the NSA spied on him, took his movie notes and gave it to Christopher Nolan and gave it to Steven Spielberg. Like,
as one does. Wait, Avatar wasn't Steven Spielberg, was it?
Wasn't it?
No, I thought it was, what's his name?
Who was it? James Cameron.
Yeah, that's it.
James Cameron. Right.
Remember how hyped this was one of those mega hyped movies. It's going to be amazing. And then it's like, it was amazing. All right. It's amazingly shitty. Yeah,
it blew chunks.
And then he did a sequel. What?
I know. I did not see that. Like, everyone hyped Avatar. I went to see it. Then I was like, this sucked. He also says that the NSA catfished him on Facebook by contacting him while pretending to be actress Michelle Rodriguez, whom Chansley identifies as his celebrity crush. Ted, so he got catfished. He got catfished by a picture of Michelle Rodriguez, like Fast and Furious fame and all this other, hot Latina actress.
She's very attractive.
She's got like 6-pack abs.
Mm-hmm.
Hot lady. He says that the NSA did it. Okay.
Manila, who's your celebrity crush? Everyone's got one or two or three.
Oh, I've got a couple. I would say Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah, good choice.
I mean, like Inside Out. Like who?
If I had to sleep with a dude, I'd probably go with Keanu.
If I'm going to pick one, I'm going to go with Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Keanu Reeves. Henry Cavill.
I don't know who that is.
British guy. He played Superman the last couple of iterations.
Oh, okay. That's why.
Big, hulky, buff British guy. He's got the thick, dark hair and bright blue eyes and beefy.
All right.
I like those big, beefy types. Keanu Reeves is not that, but who doesn't love Keanu Reeves? But anyway, I have never been catfished, and maybe if I had been, I guess I'll just blame the NSA.
Obviously.
Trillion.
All right, keep going.
He says that he was then offered the opportunity to work with NASA covertly.
With NASA.
No, to help them deal with otherworldly matters. He says that his shamanic beliefs made him a perfect candidate to work, like with extraterrestrials. I think. I mean, I'm inferring all of these things. I don't know. Does that mean he can, as a shaman, can communicate with like ET phone home? Like
maybe.
Is that what that means?
I don't know that he knows what that means.
I'm very confused by that one.
I think confusion is the theme here. All right, let's keep going.
He says he was emailed by Donald Trump on January 8th, shortly after J6, from an email address that's blacked out, of course, that the government stole more than $100,000 in crypto from him. I mean, Donald Trump,
that would be sad,
is on that crypto train.
I just want to say, this guy, he's had a rough run here. I mean, this is a big string of really dirty doings.
Oh, I don't know. There are a lot of things where he's victimized here.
The jury may award him $50 trillion.
It could be. I'm going to skip over most of these points. I'm going to go straight to the big one here. In his complaint, Chansley references a number of exhibits that are not included in the suit. Instead, he included a handwritten URL for a Google Drive folder that he says contains more than 1,000 exhibits that prove these accusations. And he also says, Ted, that, for one thing, he says the American government is violating Americans' Fifth Amendment rights by allowing an Israeli official to bail on a court hearing and return to Israel after he was charged with trying to pay for sex with a minor in Nevada. Chansley also sharply critical of America's penchant for long, pointless wars. Hey, I'm with him.
Well,
I'm with him on that.
There was such an Israeli. That did happen.
That's right. Very recently.
I don't know what the Fifth Amendment has to do with it, but yes.
I'm not sure.
And long, pointless wars.
I agree with him.
So I just want to be clear here that a lunatic is saner than our government because our government is doing these long, pointless wars.
So the shaman says he's demanding $40 trillion in the lawsuit. He says $38 trillion will go to pay off the American government's debt. Okay. $1 trillion, he says, to rebuild America's infrastructure. I like that.
You'll need more than that, though.
I mean, that's a start, though. I like that.
According to the civil engineers, we need at least $5 trillion to rebuild our
It's a start. We're 20% there, Ted. If President Chansley, President Shaman, is that what we would call him? President Shaman? Give us $1 trillion for infrastructure, that'd be pretty amazing. I was just talking about all the potholes on GW Parkway. And $1 trillion, Ted, for Mr. Chansley's personal, emotional, mental, and spiritual torture and years worth of anguish.
That's and here's where he turned the Avatar thing in particular.
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, given that the NSA stole his movie idea. Yeah. So if you haven't been following the saga of QAnon, the QAnon Shaman, it might seem surprising that Chansley would rail against the Trump administration. However, despite Trump pardoning Chansley along with these other J6 defendants, after which Chansley, who'd already served prison time, ecstatically tweeted he'd go buy some guns. Trump, the first thing he tweeted out was, "I'm going to buy some mother effing guns." That was the tweet. Trump's backtracking on releasing files from the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein has made the QAnon Shaman turn on Donald Trump. And now he's tweeting, quote, "Trump is a piece of shit." And so, it's largely evidence-free in his complaint. And at some point, he asserts that he's the actual president. He's starting a new republic. And for which, Ted, the second Declaration of Independence was being written.
We come full circle.
That's why.
Now I see. Thank you, Manila.
So I don't know if this is only like in a suburb of Phoenix, the new America. I don't know. But a $40 trillion
for the Free Socialist Republic of Scottsdale, the Republic of Tempe.
Maybe you really have to do a lot of everyone has to spray tan or fake bake. It's a thing there.
However, the food's going to be good. I mean, that Tex-Mex is yum.
It's pretty yum down there. I can attest to that. But I did not fit in because I wasn't orange enough. I had my natural, I used to go jogging outside and you get brown. It's dry, a horrible dry heat. Let me just tell you.
It's not wise to run anytime after 7 a.m. there.
No. Yeah, that's why I would run
you
at
see
night
people running at 5.
Early.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's awful dry heat. Mm-hmm. For those that don't know,
and your air conditioner, in your car, you can drive 30 minutes and your air conditioner can't catch up. It's still 85 or 90 in your car.
Oh, it's awful. I used to compare living in Arizona to people be like, yeah, what about when you catch a nice breeze or whatever? And I'm like, it feels like God turned on the hairdryer and just blowing at you. So, Ted, it's very possible that the QAnon Shaman had his brain baked by the Arizona sun.
It didn't help that he
we're
wears
all
that
wrong.
It doesn't help that he wears that fur hat.
That's true. That's true.
The horns.
That's true.
I mean, that's got to be.
It might be antennas.
Oh,
it might
right.
be
That's the shamanic foreign otherworldly affairs communication.
You're really
device.
Not staying on top of all of like his vibe here. He goes shirtless.
I for one want to be on the jury so that I can nullify the no vote. I want him to win. I'm on his team. I will award him everything he wants and more.
I am praying that the judge in Maricopa allows this.
It will not. This will be, of course. This is. I mean, it's hilarious. But in reality, what will happen is, I'm not even sure with all these plaintiffs, but what will happen is that one of the defendants will file what is called the motion for summary judgment, which is the first thing you do when you're sued, and
they
that basically tells the judge, like, hey, there's nothing here. We shouldn't even go forward. And then the judge says, yes, that's true, and the judge tosses it, and that's as far as it gets. I was sued by Blockbuster Video. I was sued by Blockbuster Video back in the day for a cartoon making fun of the president of Blockbuster Video as a quote unquote crazy right-wing Christian nutcase. But
does anyone even know what the president of Blockbuster Video looked like?
They did back then, and I named him by name. And he was. I mean, the strongest defense to a libel suit is the truth. So he was a crazy right-wing Christian nutcase, and he censored movies. People don't know this. Like when you went to Blockbuster Video, certain movies, I discovered this from my penchant for watching blaxploitation films, certain scenes were missing from the Blockbuster editions. So I did a cartoon about it that appeared in the New York Times, and they sued me for $10 million in New York court. The case lasted about 50 seconds. The judge called us all into chambers, and he said to their lawyers, who are from a very fancy law firm, White and Case, and said, "Are you aware of any other political cartoonists who've ever been successfully sued for libel in the United States?" And they said, "No, Your Honor." And then he goes, "Mr. Rawls not going to be first. Case dismissed."
Yeah. Like the precedent is that there is none. Like that is, it's so I would love for some judge to just, in this case, I don't know, maybe it's the wrong jurisdiction, Ted. It's a superior court. Like what can the superior court? It's like filed in the wrong. I mean, he's suing the NSA. He's suing DARPA. Look.
Right. He would
for
need
all
to
of
sue.
the crazy
He would
rambling,
need to sue in federal court.
Right.
Honestly.
This is local superior court. So he's in the wrong courthouse.
He's in the wrong jurisdiction. Yeah.
Like you got to get out of there, buddy. So Jake, buddy, if you're listening, we know you surf all the rumbles. Withdraw this, take this beautiful piece of writing along with your new second constitution or what was it? His Declaration of Independence. Sorry. Yes. His new Declaration of Independence, and file that in a federal courthouse, like whatever district he's in, whatever district Arizona is in, go there. Because you're filing against the federal government, mostly. And Ted, I don't care how crazy he sounds on half those ramblings. The other half of it, he's spot on. He's criticizing the Israeli government there.
True.
And dudes being able to run off.
Pedophile.
And the U.S. government acting, like betraying the United States citizens by acting in a way that benefits the Israeli government and not or Israeli people rather than the U.S. or American citizens, which is all true. I mean, he alleges a couple of wacky things, but
of course that's all true.
He also says some other stuff that's, So God bless you, Jacob Chansley. Godspeed. We are with you.
Totally. 1,000,000%.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not speaking, like I'm not getting ahead of my skis. I'm speaking for the show.
Yes, you are.
The TMI Show is 110% behind you, Jacob Chansley.
Even look, the fix is in. Clovis
come on the show.
Clovis is totally on his side too.
He is welcome to come on the show, Ted.
Oh yeah, no, seriously. In all seriousness, please come on. We will give you a respectful and
absolutely
fair and thorough. I'm not kidding.
I would no, seriously. I want to pick his brain. Like, what makes you think the NSA was spying on you specifically to steal your movie scripts? I mean, that's fair. Ted, you and I are writers. Like, you know, like you've done a lot of commercial stuff.
I've had things ripped off, you know, not by James Cameron, but you know.
I want to ask. I would love to know. And I'd compliment him on his very nice set of chompers.
You got an ad. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler. $170 worth of coffee and gear. Yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does.
All right.
One more story.
Last story. Last but not least.
I only got 5 minutes.
This one's you.
Okay, yeah, this is me. Okay.
Taliban.
The Taliban shut down the internet and telecom services across the entire nation of Afghanistan on Monday, plunging the country into 3 days of near total digital darkness and drawing a UN warning of significant harm to Afghans. The blackout is said to have come after Afghanistan's 9,350-kilometer fiber optic network was turned off, leaving flights grounded, banks frozen, and millions of citizens and businesses cut off. Kabul airport has seen all commercial flights canceled or marked as unknown. Monitoring group NetBlocks confirmed that traffic levels had dropped to about 1% of normal, underscoring the unprecedented scale of the disruption. According to Reuters, the Taliban ordered internet and mobile data services to be cut off across Afghanistan, with diplomatic and industry sources confirming cell phone connectivity had also collapsed. I don't know how they were able to confirm that, in all seriousness. NetBlocks also confirmed connectivity was cut in phases, starting on Monday with the final stage also affecting telephone services, which share infrastructure with the internet. The nationwide blackout appears to be part of a phased campaign led by the current leader of the Taliban, Hibatullah Akhundzada, in Kabul. Earlier in September, he directed the dismantling of fiber optic networks in many provinces. Officials defend the move as a way to curb immorality online, echoing earlier statements from the provincial governors. Reuters reported that Afghan telecom companies said they were managing this sensitive and complex situation under Taliban directives while hoping to restore services soon. Private broadcaster Tolo News reported that authorities had set a 1-week deadline to shut down 3G and 4G internet services for phones, leaving only 2G active. So this is definitely
only 2G.
I guess they just want everything to be slower. Sounds like they're going after video streaming and porn. It's always hard to know exactly what's in the mindset of the Taliban. But what's interesting, right, is so there's 3 Talibans. There's Taliban 1.0, which emerged from the Soviet anti-Soviet jihad of the 1980s, captured Kabul in 1996, and governed 95% of Afghanistan until 2001. There's Taliban 2.0, which fought the basically the jihad of the U.S. occupation from 2001 to 2021, when the Biden administration ordered the withdrawal. And somewhere toward the end of that, Taliban 3.0 emerged. This is a generation of younger guys. They're all guys who were.
These are millennials.
Who are interestingly, they grew up with modernity, right? So under the occupation, for the first time in 50 years, there were phones, there was the internet, there's high-rise buildings, there's paved highways throughout Afghanistan, there's flights across Afghanistan. there's helicopters, there's modernity has arrived. So these are, and so the original handicapping, and I kind of agreed with this, was that these dudes were basically more like Taliban as like a grift. Yes, some of them are very devout Muslims, but a lot of them are really just, trying to make money. And the idea was that they would leave this modern infrastructure that the US and NATO put in place, and that it would last, and that they would kind of end up modernizing because basically the technology would change them. Now it looks like this is a pushback within the Taliban by the more conservative forces to say, like, no, we're going to change the technology. We're going to say no. We're going to refuse. So that's what I think we're looking at here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see, honestly, I'm no Taliban expert, but I think we're going to see a tussle between Taliban 3.0, Ted, because the folks like Suhail Shaheen, I keep looking over there because his name's on my list of people I'm trying to get to interview. But the Taliban, the brains are all in Doha, right? Like those guys are still there. They don't live in Afghanistan, but they're Taliban guys and they're in Doha. Those are the guys such as Suhail Shaheen, who is basically their comms director, right? He's super internet savvy. He's like, I think he's somewhere around between my age and your age, Ted. So he's not old,
No.
He's a fairly young guy.
That's Taliban 3.0 for sure.
Yeah, he's with it. He understands how all this stuff works and social media and the importance of, like messaging. He gets it. He is their comms director for all intents and purposes, right? Like he goes on all the media. He talks to female reporters. Seriously, like he's kind of like we'll call it the progressive Taliban side 3.0.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be some infighting between the Taliban about the direction they want to take Afghanistan.
Well, that infighting has been occurring. And unfortunately, American policy, and I've got to go after this, I have a meeting in 2 minutes, but there's U.S. policy and Western policy, these sanctions are just really helping the conservatives because they're keeping Afghanistan isolated from the international community diplomatically and economically and politically. So there's not we're basically rejecting them. So therefore their isolation, it can continue. That's what this is about. It's about, returning Afghanistan to like the hermit kingdom that they were between 1996 and 2001.
They just returned a handful of Americans. So
that's nice.
So I don't know which way, who's leading what right now, what faction of the Taliban is leading what. So I think it's an important story to keep an eye on that. But we should all point out, Ted, that still, Afghanistan was on the brink of famine because the United States froze all of their money and assets won't give it back to them. And they're still in that position. So, yeah, that's that. Remember that. All right, we got to go. Ted's bouncing. He's got a meeting. I'll say goodbye. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern time. I guess, producer Robbie, I'm popping you on. We're going to try this continued show rating. Is that what joining forces?
But we don't have another show to raid right now. We got to keep on building our network with our friends.
That's right. So that's what we're aiming to do, obviously, because we're all former Sputnik people that were laid off and fired and whatever, thanks to Joe Biden. So that's why we're all here. And people don't even realize this. At one point, producer Robbie was a producer there. That's why he's called Producer Robbie.
Yeah, for a whole month. And then I worked another month for free because I didn't want to be, I just wanted to give them just the middle finger.
Well, Joe Biden unemployed all of us. So now that's why we're trying to figure out how to help each other and go from show to show and try to grow our own thing. We've all been out of work for a year. And it kind of sucks. So there we are. Thank you for tuning in. If you can hit the like button, please do that much. If you're in the position to subscribe to our channel, become a paid subscriber on Rumble, that's amazing. Same thing applicable on YouTube. Any little bit helps, of course. So that's why we're all trying to gang up and see if we can help each other survive, these Biden layoffs that have been going on for the past year. So anyway, that's what we're doing. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Thanks for being here, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday. Happy October 1st. Halloween. It's my favorite. I'm a fall season. Woo! Not because I like pumpkin spice.
And for the record, I am the official crazy Christian conservative of the show. So that's my title.
This is true. Producer Robbie is the crazy right-winger Christian. Yes. I wouldn't even align you with conservatives or GOP. He's just like very right-wing. Yeah, he's not Republican. So if you're new to that, that's Producer Robbie. And he says some spicy things that me and Ted both fight him on. We all fight each other on the TMI show.
It's true. I hold my own, though.
But it's all love. Imagine that, Robbie.
It is.
We all have separate opinions, and we all still manage to stay friends, and we can crack jokes and call each other crackers, whiteys, chinks, all kinds of bad words.
We just blew us up on YouTube with that one. Well done.
Well, chinks in the chain. I can say that. I am a yellow person.
We will see. We will see what happens.
Look, I'm just going to say this right now, straight to YouTube. I've seen a gajillion videos out there with the N-word being said by other Black people, and that's okay. But why couldn't a yellow person? For God's sakes, my family name is Chan. Can you get any more East Asian? If I can't say the word chink or make fun of whatever, Asian, who can say it then? Who can say it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, welcome to the crazy mornings on the TMI show. Thanks for being here.
It's true.
Adios, amigos. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.